I've got snacks if anyone gets hungry. To me. This feels very official, doesn't it? Jazzy tablecloths, snacks.
And you're just coming from the big Comic-Con. Did they have snacks for you there?
Do you know what? No.
See? Welcome to Boston.
Thanks. Oh my god, I'm loving Boston. I love the accent the best. That's my favorite thing. Yeah.
Are people saying that to you? They love your accent too, right?
I'm not getting that. No, I am. Luckily, people seem to like the British accent, so I'm safe. Yeah. I can't do any others. Definitely not the Boston accent. I'm trying, but not got it yet.
Well, when did you, do you mind telling us about your earlier part of your career? And like, you moved here to LA, like, when you were younger, right?
Well, kind of.
Okay.
I went to college, I guess you call it, studied drama, which was basically a lot of drinking. And then I went to drama school, which is like boot camp for actors. And then I worked in London for a couple of years and then moved out to LA for a month because I just figured, you know, you guys seem to have fun over here, might as well come to America, where dreams are made. And then one thing it all kind of fell into place. I got a manager and then did a couple of pilots, which is like tested TV shows in my first year. None of those went, and then booked, and then so I mean, this is quite dull, but when you're not American, you have to have a visa. So my visa only allowed me to work as acting. So basically, I couldn't do the millions of other jobs that actors usually do, and that I had in England. You know, like rubbish, just awful, like temp work and bartending work and all that stuff, the good stuff, you know, that you do to just earn money. So I ran out of money, and I mean, various disastrous things happened. I managed to buy a car that ended up being stolen, and so I lost some money that way. And then, I mean, everything that could happen to someone happened to me just because I'm very clumsy. No, it's fine, guys, character building. I ended up buying a car in Compton, in LA, and I didn't realize when I was there, I mean, I was there just on my own, it was fine, people were really nice, and I didn't, and then the car ended up being stolen, all this different stuff happened, and I was listening to like a rap song, and Compton was in it, and I was like, I know what, right. I mean, it was my fault, it was very luxury. Anyway, so I ran out of money at the end of my first year, and then that is when I went in for a S.H.I.E.L.D. audition, except they wouldn't tell us what it was all very top secret, we couldn't get the sides that you audition with, there were different scenes, they wrote new scenes for us, and then I flew home for Christmas, didn't have money for a plane flight back, so I was gonna move back home for a bit, work and all the different jobs I did back home, and then earn some money to come back, and then they said, you got it. Wow. And I was like, okay, cool, can you buy me a ticket? And they did, and then that was it. I was here.
Oh, that's great, that's great. Eric, were you doing mostly, before you got here, just backtrack a little bit, did you do mostly TV back in the UK before you came here, or was
I did some theatre, I did some films. Honestly, I found it hard. I found it so much harder in England than in America. When I got here, it seemed like, I don't know, it was just, I'm a great believer of things that are meant to be, and so when I got here it just felt right. In England, I love England, and I love the industry over there, but for whatever reason I wasn't like gaining that much traction, so I did a lot of lower budget stuff, and you know, when you start out you just want to build up what you call a reel, so I did a lot of student films and kind of, you know, earned my stripes a little bit and learned on the job, and then moved here, and America's been very good to me, so thanks.
And is that your advice, just to do lots of independent things and get your name out there as a young actress?
Yeah, it's where you learn, for sure, yeah.
And are you a musician as well?
Do you know, someone told me, I think it was at this convention, that I'm listed on IMDb as a composer or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not true. I play the piano, but very badly, and it shouldn't be for public consumption, so not really.
The reason I'm asking is not from some errant IMDb edit that somebody made, but the other guys, they say across the street, you know, Flash and and Supergirl are going to do a musical episode. Do you think that
I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
heard
would do that?
Well, early on people were talking about that because Joss did one with Buffy that was a musical version, right? And
Yeah.
But the further down the road we go with S.H.I.E.L.D., the darker and darker it gets. So it's going to be a pretty messed up musical.
Yeah, that's right.
But we have a lot of singers on our cast. So, I mean, Clark Gregg used to be in a band. Chloe was a pop star in China. Ming was Mulan and so sung. And I mean, I'm sure Ian can do something. Yeah, I'm down for it.
Well, that would be a great duet with the Fitzsimmons duet. We'd probably sell a lot.
I feel like we're both awful
records.
singers, so that'll be funny. Yeah.
And so now we wrapped up season 3, and you were basically the main drive behind that whole season, and I gotta tell you, I was pretty nervous for you.
Oh, thanks, dude. I was nervous for me too. They didn't tell me anything.
Yeah,
nothing. That whole, because we have a 2-month break between seasons, and so when I read the last page of, sorry if this is spoiling anything for anyone, but honestly, catch up.
Yeah, come on, it's on Hulu.
The last page of the script for the season 2 finale was Simmons getting sucked into
Right.
this rock. They gave me no warning. I got to the end, and usually something horrific happens to Fitzsimmons in every finale. So I was expecting it, and I forgot about the last page, which is the tag after the credits go. You know, there's a little extra bit, and I forgot about it. And it wasn't until I came back to read, like, to put notes on my script and stuff, I saw it, and I was like, great, okay, had no calls from anyone, thought, okay, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And then, you know, got the call the week before season 3 to say, hey, you want to come back? It's like, yes.
And you won't see a lot of your other cast, right? Because you were elsewhere.
Oh, they loved it. They all got holiday. Yeah. Like, we're so pleased for you. We're so pleased you get this moment. I was like, no, you're not. You just want a break. Yeah, I miss them though. It was kind of lonely out there.
I have to ask you, I'm curious, what was it that you were eating on that planet? And what did they give you to pretend that you were eating?
Oh, well, let me tell you.
Was that nasty?
Yeah.
It looked gross.
Yeah. Well, just the whole, like, so there's a scene where I have a tentacle that I'm meant to kind of gnaw into, and the whole episode, the episode that was cut down together was 22 minutes long. So there was so much of it that got cut out, which, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be on an extra DVD somewhere, but there's a scene of me finding weird kind of mushroomy type things to eat. But this tentacle, I mean, we only had one shot because it was such a packed shoot and it was all light dependent, and so we were losing the light, and the like gross stuff they filled it well. I mean, to be honest, our props department do an amazing job, and they did make it quite delicious. It was like icing sugar, some kind of corn flour, that was it, and then syrup, and then flavoring, and it went all down me. So we only had one take because there wasn't time for to clean me up and everything, and so yeah, I was nervous, and there was a little baggie inside that I had to rip with my teeth, and I don't know, it was fairly traumatic. And then the other thing was like...
Sorry I brought it back up.
Yeah.
I needed to know.
God. The other thing was like a mushroom thing with soy sauce on it, and that was... that was disgusting. I was so gross. I had to eat it like I hadn't eaten food in forever, and so I had to love it. And all the time, it's like, trying not to bring it back up again. Oh, my job's so hard, you guys. I eat mushrooms.
Well, you know what? Emotionally, your character went through so much stuff. I mean, you know, there's the Fitzsimmons, will they, won't they, will they, won't they, and then and you fall in love with, and there's the whole thing that happens with Will, and just like why are they putting you through the ringer? What are they doing to you?
Great question. I don't know what I did, but.
And were you surprised because you get the scripts and don't know what's happening, like when you first get them, right? So you're like, well, what's gonna happen to Gemma today?
I know. Well, yeah, we only know script to script, and sometimes we'll get handed what you call red pages, which are well, they're red pages, but they're like top secret, and sometimes you'll get to set and you'll be starting the scene and you'll go, actually, this is what's going to happen at the end of this scene now, or this is the actual name of the person that's mentioned in here, and you go, oh my god. But for that script, when Will the Astronaut was introduced, I got called to the office, which is never a good thing. You get called to the office, you're either dying or like something awful's happening. So I march up to the office and they tell me what the pitch was, what was going to happen, and I never thought that episode would get filmed because it was such a crazy idea and very brave, and they've never done it before. And so they told me the idea, and my first reaction was, oh my god, what about the Fitzsimmons fans? I was sure I was going to get lynched in the streets or something. I was so nervous. But it all turned out, the way it should.
Yeah, right. And so are you, we're at Comic-Con, so I have to ask, 'cause you might hear this question 1,000 times, but are you a fan of comics? Did they prep you with comics when you came in? Because Gemma's not a character in the comics until recently, because they made her Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So
book,
cool.
which is very cool.
Yeah.
So what's it like seeing yourself in the comics?
It's
now
crazy.
It's great, right?
Yeah, and I love seeing the different artist interpretations and the different styles. It's just amazing. I mean, to be a part of this universe anyway is just so cool. And then to have someone come up to you with a comic that then it's just so surreal, the whole thing. It's awesome. It's very, very humbling to be a part of such a wicked family and fan base. It's awesome. I went to see the movies before getting introduced to like this job, and then because it was
what movies are those?
Huh?
Avengers.
Oh yeah, well obviously because of my boss. And then because I was at home over Christmas, I was Googling comic book stores because I never really read comic books before. And so I found, I'm from a small town called Sheffield, which I hear is like Pittsburgh. I don't know. So that's what it's like. So I find this little comic book store, and the guy, and I opened the door and I think like just a ton of dust fell down. No one had been in this store for I don't know how many years. So this man turned, and he basically gave me an education, gave me so many comic books, and he was just super nice. And this was like fresh meat coming in that just couldn't.
You want to know about Nick Fury? Okay.
Yeah, right. Here you go. And then on our first meeting, Jeff Loeb, who's the head of Marvel Television and a Marvel god in his own right, he just dropped a pile of comic books in front of each of us, and very cool homework.
That is very cool. And so you appear in the comics, but also you're on an episode of the Ultimate Spider-Man show, doing some voice acting, and you and Ian are there. And so tell us about that, if you don't mind.
That was so cool. Voice acting is really great because you basically can go in your pajamas. You don't have to go through hair and makeup, like you just roll up. And the people that work in voiceover they're just so cool. And, kind of odd, some of them, because they just spend their life in a dark room, and I'm all about odd people, so we got on great. And it was just really fun, and doing the voiceover work, we turned into lizards, or something kind of strange, so we had to do very questionable sounds of what it's like to turn into a lizard. I don't know if any of you have been there, but I'm willing to take notes on this, because they would go, okay, and now's the moment you turn. How do I do that? So that was the only embarrassing bit, really.
And there's been from San Diego. There's a bunch of announcements about season 4, and we've got. I'm not gonna prod you too much, but yeah, we've Ghost Rider's coming up, right?
Yeah, he is.
That's gonna be exciting. And
you guys, it's so cool. I can't.
Robbie Ray.
I wish it was September already. It's gonna be
September 20th, folks.
Is it 20th? Someone told me 21st. Is it 20th? I should know this. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna,
but be peeled in front of your screen. Watch it when it's really on. So we've got a new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
I know, Coulson. What's happened?
I know. I've got my Coulson shirt on today.
I'm so sad for him.
But maybe is Gemma gonna have some more responsibilities now?
I pitched so hard for her to be the director, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. And then I started getting...
Have you tried on any eye patches?
Oh, have I? Yeah. Every plane I get on, I'm like, turn one up so that it's just one eye patch. I pitched for her to be, and then I pitched for her to be the director, and then I just started the rumor myself, and then I started getting journalists asking me, so we've heard about Gemma maybe being the director. So, oh, have you? Wow. Don't you think that's a good idea?
So you're submitting stuff to the rumor sites, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah. Well, I pitch the writers all the time, but you know, thought maybe he could come in. I don't know. Yeah. They don't seem to take me up, but you know, you can but try.
And now, like, what's gonna happen with Fitz and Simmons in this next season? Anything? You know, are they gonna become
so
closer?
Sneaky.
Are things gonna get tense? What's going on? Are you gonna actually take that vacation or what?
Oh, we've taken it. We've been on it. That's what we did in the hiatus. I mean, I'm hoping they just kind of have a calm year. Like, so much has happened. And, you know, we saw them get together, and in season 3, they kind of sealed the deal, and now...
Finally, right? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, after that episode, I pitched that Simmons would have, like, psychedelic collars on and, like, fireworks coming out of her hair, because it just felt like there was so much build-up to that moment, but again, it didn't happen, so I need to, like, have some sort of alternate show where I just let my freak flag fly, and then, but yeah, so we'll just see them navigate what it's like to be in a romantic relationship, because I've never really seen that at work. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Did you just say filling out the forms?
Yeah, the HR forms.
Oh.
You know, full disclosure.
We do cooler things than fill out forms, you know. This is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That is true.
At work, filling out forms, saving the world, you know.
You said, going back to the psychedelic colors there for a second, I meant to ask you about, you're like now, there's like a great history of like the Avengers and the Prisoner, and sometimes I see you in your jacket, and I'm like, wow, she could be on the Prisoner. Were you a fan of those things?
I don't really know about those things.
You don't know the Prisoner? What about the Avengers from the 60s? Emma Peel?
60s?
Yeah.
No, you're showing me up. I really don't know.
Well, her character, maybe the writers were inspired by her.
From her jackets?
Yes, from her jackets, but also how cool she is and she's a kick-ass spy lady.
Oh, sure, yeah, well, I can imagine that, yeah. She is very cool and kick-ass. So I have to ask Anne Foley, our costume director.
Yeah, and well, let's just get into it. Like, you're part of a kick-ass lady team there. We've got May and Daisy and Simmons and Bobby and just like, it's just so great to see how strong the characters are and how great you guys play them and like how much ass you guys kick. You're really punching people and stuff. It's great.
I mean, I do less ass kicking, honestly.
But you do get you do get a
intellectually kick people's asses.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's one. I mean, I fought so hard for this role, and I love the idea of someone that was very intelligent, didn't apologize for it, and you know, had a very close relationship with a man, but it was in a friend way, and that, you know, obviously not now, but, and that they were equal. There was never any, oh, she can't do that because she's a woman, or he can't do that because he's a dude. Like, they were a true team, and Ming-Na Wen, like, just as an actress, I look up to her so much. She's got
Amazing.
2 kids, and she's like, you know, a wife and a mother and a daughter, and she's brilliant at all of them, and she just happens to be phenomenal at acting. And guys, she does so many of her own stunts, and she's just so funny, and she has such a great energy. So for me, just to be in a cast with all those people you mentioned, and just kind of, you know, it's really supportive. And my first meeting with Joss Whedon, he sat me down, we were talking about Sky, as was then, and Simmons, and he said that he never wants to pitch them against each other. Oh my god, I mean, I could have kissed him. I probably did. It was very inappropriate, but for me it was just so nice not to fall into that stereotype of, oh, the 2 young women on the show are kind of pitched against each other and it's catty, and And it was just such a relief, and I feel like, I mean, all of us girls on the show support each other, we're so proud of each other, and I mean, the journey that Chloe Bennett has gone on with Sky and now Daisy, it's just phenomenal, and I'm so obsessed with all of them that I'm glad that you brought that up.
It really, honestly, it really shows, like, it really shines,
so.
It really does, it really sparkles, and it's, whenever we see Mignon, we high five each other, like, yeah, just jumping in there, you know. And
I love the idea of that.
It's just so great. It's just such a great show, and it's well rounded in the weed-ins, and like you said, Jeff Loeb, like he gets it. He gets TV, but he also gets people, and I just think that's really smart.
Oh yeah, and all our executive producers, like you said, Joss Whedon, Jed Whedon, Marissa Tancharoen, Jeff Bell, Jeff Loeb, they're all so passionate, and they're die-hard comic book fans, and they care about putting the Easter eggs in there and keeping the tone and the point of Marvel, and talking about big important issues, but through the Marvel prism. I don't know, I think it makes it very accessible and hopefully cool for people that are crazy Marvel fans and people that maybe this could be their introduction to this amazing universe.
And now, I mean, the Agent Carter show went away.
I know.
Unfortunately.
I know, and I kept thinking that they were just joking. I thought, no, there's going to be an announcement, but yeah.
Well, I see you filling the void as the British agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. that we all wanted.
Thank you. Well, I can't wait to. Oh,
let's have a Fitzsimmons show. Why not a Fitzsimmons miniseries? Sorry, you'd have to shoot it, so it's not going to break, but that would be good.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would love that, obviously, but I'm sad that Peggy Carter isn't, like, it wasn't revealed that Simmons was somehow related. I would have just loved to see that scene. She would have been so excited. I mean, it could still happen, obviously, but I definitely miss Agent Carter being on air.
Did you submit that to the rumor sites as well?
Do you know what? I don't know if I have.
Yeah, we'll pitch that to the
I don't
guys.
have the best track record, but I'll try. I'll give it a go.
And you've had amazing guest stars on the show for all 3 seasons, and who can we see coming up like that's announced, obviously.
Well, Jason O'Mara's been announced, who's super cool, and we have, I mean, I can't really say, but we have people that just blow my mind. Like, we're so lucky, and I can't tell you.
That's okay.
It's really cool. It's really cool. People that, I mean, they can't write scenes with them because, I mean, when Nick Fury came on, they had to put me in a hyperbaric chamber, like, sealed off. I stayed in there the whole scene.
The same thing they put Ward in at the end of the season.
There you go. Yeah, we can't be trusted.
So, do you want to see perhaps S.H.I.E.L.D. and the movies have intertwined? Do you think you'll get onto the big screen one of these days?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
keep pitching it.
Keep pitching it. Yeah, of course. I love the movies. I feel like we're very lucky in TV that we get to tell stories over 22 hours. That that's something that the movies can't do that we can, and which is awesome. But yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say no to a cameo. Obviously.
Maybe Gemma could be in Captain Marvel.
There we go.
Yeah, do some cool stuff there. And I think that I have to ask you, did you see the Wonder Woman trailer, or what did you think?
Oh my god, awesome.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. Let's have a woman leading a huge franchise, why not? Yeah.
So I think we could probably open up to some questions. Is
All right.
that what you want to do?
Yeah,
If you guys want to line up.
I'm Siobhan. And I'm Javanka.
The double is a Fitzsimmons question.
So our question was, who do you think would win at Monopoly, Fitz or Simmons?
I mean, it pains me to say, but probably Fitz. Because he's
Why?
better with numbers. And I think that she would just get bored, but like, okay, fine, you win.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
Could you say hi to my friend Catherine for me?
Hi, Catherine. Is she here?
No, she's not here.
No. Oh. Okay, well, you can say hi from me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, you look amazing.
Thank you. So you guys work with a lot of fun people on the show.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories of like fun pranks you guys have pulled on each other?
Do you know who pull the best pranks? Is the different departments. So like the makeup department once put a huge bruise on Ian's back, and because there was a scene in season 1, episode 6, where Simmons gets the Chitauri virus, and I tried to sacrifice myself by jumping off the plane, as you do, and I had to hit him with a fire extinguisher to knock him out, and I was so scared filming the scene because, I mean, I'm such a wimp, and I hate, the thought of punching anyone just goes right through me, so I had to hit him with, it was foam, so it didn't hurt, but still, you're still hitting someone. Anyway, so I kept doing it, and then they'd be like, okay, action, and I'd be, oh God, no, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I finally did it, and I was worried that it hurt him, so makeup then put this, I'm not joking, went from the top, the base of his neck all the way down to his waist, and the makeup people on our show are amazing, so it looked really real. And so throughout the rest of the day, he was like, oh, I was like, you okay? Yeah. Oh God, no, I'm fine. Brett was in it, the whole cast was in it, and so people would go up to him and give him a hug in the morning, and he'd go, oh, hi. And I would catch out of the corner of my eye, and they did it for the whole day. And by the end of the day, he came up to me and scratched or something, and I saw the start of this bruise. Oh, the blood ran from my face. Oh my God, because Ian, come on. A little squirrel or something. Anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh, Ian, what is that? He went, oh, it's nothing. So I lifted up the back of his shirt, and I was like, no, I need to see. Well, this thing, oh my God, it was purple and yellow and green and it was gnarly. And he said, no, it's fine, it's whatever, let's suffer for our art. So I felt bad. They kept this thing going all week. Can you believe? Nobody told me. Yeah, so stuff then the props department changed Chloe's license plate to be it's kind of rude, but it was a rude phrase. And she was driving around LA for a couple weeks. People were honking at her, and she was like, God, people are so crazy this morning driving. Everyone's beeping, because it was just on her front license plate. So every time she parked, you get out and then walk to the back of your car, so she didn't notice it. So it's the departments you have to watch out for. They're really nasty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I like to say, Fitz and Simmons are why I keep watching the show. I love their interaction with science.
Oh, thank you.
One thing I'd like to recommend to you is, if you haven't, try the writings of Howard Phillips Lovecraft, because you'll find it. Lovecraft. He has contributed so much to the realms of science fiction and everything else.
Awesome.
I love it. But the thing is, will Simmons ever reach the point, do you think, when she can integrate the idea of this fantastical, metaphysical, things like Asgard, and her conceptions of science, so that what they seem to be metaphysical, like even Dr. Strange, is actually just a part of the same science, it's just on a different level that she doesn't have yet?
For sure. That is interesting you say that, because we explore some of those themes this year of what her broadening her kind of, honestly, acceptance in a way, because she does block herself sometimes by thinking it's magician. Yeah.
Meaningful.
That's so funny. Yes, I think you will see that this season. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, what was your reaction when you first found out that your character Gemma and Leo were finally going to kiss?
Oh, I loved it. I was so excited. I've been gunning for it, and Ian was on the opposite side. So we were pitched against each other. Yeah, it was good. I love the thought of the two characters getting together, because I think that they're made for one another, but then filming those scenes is very awkward. Because we're best buds, and he's really good mates with my boyfriend, and those scenes are always going to be strange to do, but we wanted to kind of, do it right for the characters, and so theoretically I was stoked, and then when you come to film it, you're like, oh, this is so weird. So kind of a bit of both.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
Really quick question. Is Fitz ever getting that monkey?
Oh, I mean, no. Can you imagine that? I would be fine with them having like a what do you call these things? A hologram of a monkey.
An
just with him.
LMM?
Yeah,
Life
yes.
model monkey?
Yes, exactly. But a real monkey, the rest of the cast want this real monkey, but I think it's going to be a nightmare. Monkeys are kind of mean, aren't they?
He's got his 7 dwarves, drones and stuff, you know.
He's
got
got
plenty
his
of toys.
He's fine, yeah, he's
Yeah.
fine.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, seeing as you've been sucked into a rock and transported to another planet, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume you've done some green screen work. And, because it saves money, obviously, you don't have to be transported to the other planet.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm just wondering what it's like for you as an actress working in front of essentially nothing.
Well, the examples you gave, actually, we didn't use green screen for those. But I mean, we do a lot of green screen. The sucking into a rock was, I mean, it was so embarrassing. I had to just face plant onto, belly flop basically onto this like skateboard thing, and then they just wheeled me back. It was so awkward because you have to pretend. God, I was like, Mark Kulpak, who does all the visual effects stuff, I was like, please, I mean, all my trust is in you right now, my whole, and never mind like my acting integrity, just as a human being, please don't make this look awful. And then on the planet, we went to a place called Trono, which is in California, but it's like, I don't know, 5-6 hours away, so we went on a field trip. So all the rock formations, they were real. They put the 2 moons in afterwards, so that wasn't green screen, which was cool because it's so much easier to act against actual things. But there is a lot. Chloe has a lot of green screen when she has to do her, you know, quaking, jumping thing. I don't know why I didn't get that role. But yeah, it's kind of hard, and you know, a lot of the work in TV though, you have to, you're not actually looking at the person you're having a scene with, because you know they can't be that close to camera or something. So you know, it's all make believe. We just try and make it look as real, and luckily we get a lot of help in post production.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
We have a question right here in front. Mr. Here. Thank you. Here you go.
You're beautiful.
Favorite question.
That's a great question. That's the first thing. I have something else. Would you like to learn sign language at some point?
Yes. Do you know I know this, and I know
Thank you.
that like the I love you thing. I do that with my boyfriend all the time. But yes, I would love. Can you teach me some?
I can.
How do you say my hello? My name is. That's hello. My name.
And then you'll have to spell with
So
your-
I just played my.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is clapping, right?
Yes, applause.
So we could all do this. Thank you.
Ms. Marble.
Hi.
Hi.
So I just wanted to ask what other stuff you pitched to the writers.
Oh God, I mean all of it. I've pitched that Simmons can just fly inexplicably. I've pitched that she has baby. That like runs around in the lab and for some reason can grow a lot more quickly than others, so we don't have to have a baby on set for too long. I've pitched that Ian, Fitz, has a love affair with May, which actually I've since found out happens in one of the comics. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? God, that poor boy. I mean, she'd break him, we all know it. So a bunch of different things. Nothing, literally nothing has made it yet. Apart from Fitzsimmons getting together, which is really the main thing. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in season 3, when Simmons starts to learn how to shoot and stuff, and May helps her, will we see more of May training Simmons in season 4?
Not sure. I think that Simmons just wasn't that great. So they kind of thought, we're going to train her up. And then I think the main thing with that was that she wanted to be able to defend herself because she felt like she always had to have a man to save her. So that was, May was the perfect SO for that. I think going into season 4, we kind of assumed that she's kind of done her training with May now and she's kind of a bit more prepared for the field. But I love having scenes with May, so yes, if possible, I would love that. But I don't know. We haven't done any of that yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, who's your favorite Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. character and why is it Ward?
God, I do love Ward, original Ward. And
Not Hive Ward.
Not Hive Ward, no. I was gunning for that redemption, but it just didn't happen. So I miss Ward. So I guess he's my favorite person that's...
Is he coming back? I wasn't asking you, I was asking.
I would like, yeah, sure, I was asking someone else. I would like him to. We definitely miss Mr. Brett Dalton.
In Lincoln?
And Lincoln, we miss Lincoln too.
Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, but it's Marvel, anything can happen, right?
It's true.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi.
I just wanted to say that scene at the end where the spies farewell with Bobby.
Oh, don't even.
Honest to God, I've never had a 5-minute segment bring me to tears so much. My husband's sitting on the couch next to me like, are you serious? I was sobbing.
Oh my God, is he even human? Why wasn't he crying? Where is he?
But I just wanted to thank you for such a powerful scene, and I know there were hardly any words in it, but you guys were just, you could tell the love that you guys have.
Oh, that was so sad. Thank you.
And
how about Henry Simmons in that scene? He
Oh my
plays
God.
Agent Mac. Oh my God, he was like...
He was the face that brought me to tears. Just
Me
seeing
too,
him
me
lose
too.
it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you, how difficult was it to shoot that scene, and how many takes did you guys have to do for it?
Well, it was kind of easy in a way because we all felt so sad. So most of us only had 1 or 2 takes just because we were genuine. Adrienne Palicki and Nick Blood were just, it was so cool when they came on board. I had a lot of my first scenes of season 2 with Adrienne, and God, I'm still mildly obsessed with her.
I need to come back.
She's just such a cool person, and she's been in this industry for a while, and she's kind of, she's navigated it on her own terms, and she's just a really great role model. And so just that we were very excited about the prospect of what they could go on to, and we were stoked for them. But yeah, it was hard. The writer Paul Z that wrote that scene, the writer's always on set for that episode, and so he couldn't even get through the stage directions of the scene without bursting into tears. And so God, that just set us all off. So it was one of the easiest ones to film just because it kind of was real. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are running out of time, so we'll have this one last question, and we. But
what if we just do them really quickly?
Fair enough. Yes.
One-word answers.
Yes. That either 5 one-word answer ones or what. But Elizabeth will be still signing, so you have not missed out on this wonderful thing right here.
Thanks.
So please go ahead.
Hi. If Vincent Simmons were able to travel to time, where would you think they would go?
Oh God, now I've got to be really quick. Through time, I feel like they'd go back to an early Doctor Who and just hang out. Simmons would for sure. Thank you. A couple more. Can we do a couple?
Yeah.
That was quite quick.
Absolutely.
That was quite
Absolutely.
quick. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Super quick. Thank you for that. I love you. All right, so you were mentioning the red pages earlier, and last year Brett Dalton talked about how he didn't know about the Ward switch until basically it happened.
Yeah.
So as an actress, do you find that more challenging or more invigorating? Like, does it help you to not know what's going to happen until bam, it happens, or not?
Good question. As like a slight control freak, it was tricky at first because I trained in theatre, and so you know exactly where you're going, or if you do a movie, you know where you need to get to emotionally, and you can work back from there. TV is very different because it's much faster and ever-changing. But now I love it. It's kind of, it keeps it exciting, and you're basically in the same position your character is, so you're not trying to hint to anything that's going to happen because you don't know that you're about to get sucked into a rock. You know.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
One more.
Thank you. What was the hardest scene for you to film?
Oh, the hardest scene. I mean, physically, on the planet was tricky because it was a heat wave in LA, which, I mean, you guys have a very hot weather, as I'm discovering. It was 110 and there was no shade, and with the sand, they had these huge like 5-foot fans, and so, you know, it'd get in your eyes and all that, you know, nice stuff, and you get sand places you don't ever want to know you can get sand. So probably that stuff just for the physicality of it, but it also made it the best because you just felt like you were completely immersed in it, so that was awesome. And then yeah, the Spies Goodbye was, I didn't want to film that scene because I didn't want them to leave us. And then watching the finale of season 3 was really hard because I wasn't in those particular scenes, but I think that was the hardest to watch because it was, I mean, I feel like I've already spoiled it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but it was for emotionally, especially for the original cast, it was a really, really tough one to watch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's give Elizabeth a great round of applause. And you can still see her at her signing table, asking our for details, and thank you everybody.